Alright, this is a brand new channel that I've started because I felt like talking about music, and I don't have anyone in my friend group or anything like that who's into the same music as me, so I guess the first place to start is to talk about this new band, President, that dropped a new song today. It's their debut single. They've never released any music before this, and it's strange because they got announced to be playing Download I think probably about 2 months ago now, without releasing any actual music, which is strange. And there was a big rumour going around that they were involved with Sleep Token in some way, which I love Sleep Token, so that would have been fine with me. I mean, hell, I have a Sleep Token tattoo. But they're not. They have the same management team, and I believe the same producer that Sleep Token had on their first 2 albums. I could be wrong about that part. I just know it's the same management team, which I think is cool. And yeah, they dropped their new track today, In the Name of the Father. Literally a week after Sleep Token released their new album. And to be fair to President, their new song is really fucking good for a first track. I think it's strange that they were announced to be playing Download and they hadn't put anything out. But no, they put out a track today for the first time, and it is fucking good, to be fair to them. And there's a rumour going around about who the vocalist is. I'm not gonna say it in the video just in case, but there is a lot of stuff pointing towards that rumour being correct. Which, if it's true, he's already an established musician in the UK scene, which, fair play to him. He's come out of nowhere, created this anonymous metal band, and it's worked with 1 track being released. So, in other news, in music, again, Sleep Token dropped their new album a week ago, and they've gone up to past 9 million monthly listeners now, which is, I think, more than I Prevail and Bad Omens combined, who are 2 other bands I listen to. Again, tattoos. But speaking of I Prevail, there's been a bit of bad news. They've parted ways with their clean vocalist, Brian Burkheiser, which is a massive shame. I love Brian as a vocalist. I think he's amazing. And they've kept Eric, their harsh vocalist, their screamer. But I feel like it's not going to be the same without Brian. I don't know, he's always been I guess the heart of the band. And it was his clean vocals initially when I listened to Deep End for the first time, their track Deep End. It was the first I Prevail song I ever heard in my life. And it was Brian's vocals in that kind of got me hooked on I Prevail. But I know he's been struggling with Eagle syndrome, and he had a child in January. So I would assume that's probably why he's taken the decision to part ways with them, but I don't know, it's really weird, because me and my wife, who I love very much, initially bonded actually over I Prevail. And I guess it's just weird to think that the vocalist who was in the band at the time, who enabled us to bond the way we did, is just no longer there. I don't know. I know it's hurt me personally, but I understand why he had to do what he did. But yeah, it's mental. There's so much going on in music right now. What with President being around now with a fucking sick new track, and then Brian leaving I Prevail and a few hours beforehand. It's ridiculous, but again, Eric is sticking around in I Prevail, so I'm assuming he'll be the sole lead vocalist now, which I'm okay with. I like Eric as a vocalist. I think he's very, very good. He's improved his clean vocals a hell of a lot over the years. And again, he screams as well, which is always my preference when it comes to music. But back to Sleep Token, they're kind of teasing some more music. I think it's on Apple Music. They've been capitalizing certain words, or letters in certain words, from every song on this album, even in Arcadia, their most recent, which they put out a week ago today as I'm recording this. And it's incredible. The album is absolutely incredible. But they've used that as an opportunity to kind of just be like, oh, there might be something else coming. I believe the capitalized letters spell out the house cycle must end, and then there's no D on the end as if it cuts off. And then it cuts to the battle continues, which they have posted on Instagram. So I don't know what they're planning, but whatever it is, I am down. Maybe it's a deluxe album with, instrumentals, or maybe it's a couple of extra tracks, maybe it's a whole second fucking album, which was one rumour that was going around, but who knows. And Ice Nine Kills, they are putting out an album early next year, with a single coming in summer, as confirmed by Spencer Charnas, who is the lead vocalist and follows me on Instagram, so can't complain. And I think to round it off, it sounds like more Motionless in White music is coming this year. If you don't know, Motionless in White are my favourite band of all time. And from what I can tell, Chris, who's the lead vocalist, has stated that there is a single coming soon, or sooner than expected, I should say. Which leads me to believe, plus he said the album's nearly done, which leads me to believe that there is possibly going to be the album by the end of the year, as they're going on tour here at the start of next year. And I feel like it wouldn't make much sense to go on tour here in February if the album's going to come out in January, So, who knows? But that's kind of it for the first upload on Jarbeefis Talks music. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do. This will probably just be a once in a while thing. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.